Welcome back to another episode of the Todd Durkin Impact Show. This is Todd Durkin. We have Jeff Bristol and Julie Wilcox in the house today for an exceptional episode called Exceptional Expansion Part 2. Yes, my friends, back on episode 156, I talked about the mindset of expanding in a time where our country and this world is shrinking, shriveling in a state of scarcity. How do we get in an abundance mindset? How do we get in a mindset of growth? And the last couple months, that's what we've been doing over here at FQ10 and TDE. And I've been really encouraging all of you mind right maniacs, all you fire-breathing dragons, to get into that mindset to grow. Right, with the whole COVID-19 thing, I hate saying that word, it starts with a C, but right now is the time in mid-February that I want you to declare what a great time to grow your business, your relationships, your life. And that's the purpose of today's episode. We are going to talk with Jeff and Julie. As a matter of fact, I'm a guest on the show today. Julie is going to be interviewing Jeff and I on many of the different ways that we are both growing here at FQ10 and through TDE. And going through Jeff's pedigree and what he's doing, has done and doing, and some of the things, my vision of where we're going and how we're going to create impact, even more impact in the universe coming up. So buckle up. If you're out getting a walk in right now, prepare to jog or run because this is going to get under your little skin a little bit. And if you're out for a workout right now, get ready to try a PR because you're going to be super amped up today to have a little fun. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the Impact Show over to my cohort today, Julie Wilcox. And Julie's now been with us for almost 15 years. 15 years. She was the GM at FQ10 for 13 years. And then she had this guy wet behind the ears come in where she soon thereafter groomed as the assistant GM who ultimately took over the GM job in Jeff Bristol. But Julie, welcome to the show. It is now in your hands. You're the host of the Impact Show today.
Oh my gosh, a dream come true. Oh, I get the mic. I'm so excited to be here, you guys. And two of my favorite guys in the whole world who I appreciate. I get to work side by side and love you both. But I'm going to dig a little bit of digging today. So I want to start with Todd because you've made a lot of changes. There's a lot going on in the last couple of years. So I want to know changes at FQ10, changes at TDE in the last 3 years. What are some of the reasons and why are you making all these changes?
Change. You know, if you've been following our social media, if you've attended any of our live events, I've been on this theme about change way before March 2020 when the world changed. I think it's part of life is change. And I think where I am at my point in my career, FQ10 I birthed 21 years ago. And just the past 5 years as our brand, both FQ10 and TDE brand has grown, as I've tapped into my whispers and pray to God about what do I need to do to best serve the universe, I felt this compelling force to serve more. And I get emotional about it because if you've ever been at a point in your life where you have the success that you want or you've dreamt of, but you keep feeling like there's more. There's something else that I'm not tapping into. There's another level. About 3 years ago, I felt that. And it was right after I got the Jack Lane Award by Idea. Our athletes were all at a highest level, and I'd written my WOW book, and I just wanted to go deeper, and it was right after Strong and being exposed to the TV world. It's something that I need to go deeper on, and I was soul searching at a deep level what that is. And I spoke to a lot of our teammates here at FQ10 how I could serve better, but my energy kept taking me not away from FQ10, but more like I was getting pulled to serve the universe in a different way, and in doing so, there were people who I was grooming, Jeff Bristol being one here as part of today's podcast, that I knew had a bigger role, but I didn't exactly know what that role was because for me, FQ10 has always been my baby, always will be my baby. But I knew that it wasn't how I was going to spend my next 20 years. So 2018, I made some big moves. That was the first time, if you're new to the show or just started following me or us, 2018, I had a major shakeup organizationally, and it was more because I had my first knee surgery, a knee replacement on my right leg, and I spent a lot of time contemplating like next steps to get Fitness Quest 10 to the next level. Julie, you were serving as GM of Fitness Quest 10.
Right.
And Jeff was a trainer, and a darn great trainer because he was our busiest trainer for, I don't know, 5-6 years. He was front desk for 2 years with a little bit of a detour, which if you listen to episode 30, you could hear Jeff Bristol's whole story in episode 30. But Jeff was our busiest trainer. But there was something that I was like, I got to set Fitness Quest 10 up for long-term success and put each other in positions that I think we could all grow. I learned that from Kevin Plank in Under Armour, that every now and then you got to have an organizational shakeup because we get a little complacent in our roles. And that's not easy because when things are good, it's hard to change. When things are good, you get comfortable. And I was very comfortable, but I knew that there was another level. And 2018, I made that decision that, Julie, we're going to put you in the spot of director of Todd Durkin Enterprises. Jeff was going to come in as GM of Fitness Quest 10. We were bringing Frank Puker in from New Jersey to become the director of the TDE Mastermind group that would work closely with Larry Indiviglia. Lisa Ivanovich was taking a step up to now be Jeff's assistant. There was a lot of shaking up. And from the outside world, it probably didn't seem like much, right? Like if you were listening from the outside. But whenever you have an organizational shakeup from the inside, if you're the one who's making those moves and putting people in different positions, there's a certain amount of stress that no one could understand because you're dealing with people's livelihoods of taking Jeff out of the busiest trainer role, making good money, and saying, hey, Jeff, I want you to go from busy trainer to assistant GM now to GM and running the shop. But I made those changes in 2018. And then most recently, and we'll talk about that today, is just, again, with tapping into the whispers, now bringing Jeff into even a bigger role at Fitness Quest 10. And here in January 2021, throughout COVID, I watched Jeff, and I watched him grind, and I watched him serve our community of just amazing souls. And there's some key people on Fitness Quest 10's team. Jeff shined like a lighthouse to our community and has always stood for that. So starting back in, I'd say, the summer of 2020, Jeff and I began the discussions, and now we're in that process of Jeff becoming a partner in Fitness Quest 10. Not so much just because Jeff deserves it, because he does, but because of a bigger vision of how can we serve the universe in a greater place? How do we position Fitness Quest 10 for long-term success, not for the next year, for the next 10 years, for the next 20 years. And for TDE Enterprise, Todd Durkin Enterprises, how do I put myself in a role, I'll just say for the next decade. For the next decade, how do I double down on impact? How do I create more motivation, inspiration, positivity in the world? I knew I couldn't keep doing what I was doing to 10x the impact I wanted to make. So that began the changes. And there's a lot of people at Fitness Quest 10. Heck, in the last, even as we record this, we're in mid-February as we record this. And a lot of change have taken place in the last 6 weeks because of Jeff's vision and that. But in a nutshell, those are some of the changes that have been made or starting to be made. And I think it's an evolution. But I couldn't be more excited, number one, for Fitness Quest 10 because, yes, I still will be in Fitness Quest 10. Yes, I'll still be training my clients, still be teaching classes. I'll still be sharing my energy. It's still my baby, everything else. But I know that for long-term health of our community and our team, that I needed some assistance with that. And I know Jeff's heart, soul of what he does. Hey, he reminds me of who I was 10, 15 years ago. So that's the impetus of a lot of the change taking place.
That's amazing. I mean, it's like when you really think about kind of where you've gone in your path, it's incredible. And there's a lot going on, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. Those changes must have been scary, I'm sure, too, and still are. I mean, as we're kind of evolving to the next phase. But I want to step back just a little bit. And Jeff, I want to talk a little bit about you going actually into the assistant manager role. I mean, you know, from a trainer, you were, like Todd said, the top trainer, absolutely incredible. You know, just busting it and building relationships and probably not even realizing that you were kind of already building up that leadership role. You step into an assistant manager role. Take us back just a little bit and talk to me about, were you prepared for that? Like, what was the unexpected? I mean, I've got my version of it too, which I'll pipe in and share a little bit.
I can't wait to hear that.
But I mean, that was a big change for you, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, I'm just excited to be on the show today here with you, Julie, and Todd. It's an honor. You know, we've been through a lot over the last 9 years, and you guys have been in my corner from day one. And so first of all, I'm just grateful for both of you. Yeah, you know, listening to both of you guys speak, I remember the days of working the front desk and learning just the front side of the business. I remember becoming a trainer and just grinding as a trainer, you know. And Todd, as you sat there and shared about growth and change and vision and purpose, you know, I'm constantly reaffirmed on why, like, this partnership is happening and why I'm so excited to, you know, link up arms and head into this next decade with a new vision and new purpose. And, you know, even prior to stepping into that assistant GM role, I can remember, Todd, you know, you talk about, you know, Fitness Quest 10 being your baby. We all know how much you love this place and breathe this place, and this place is your home away from home, and you've spent way more time here over the last 20 years than you have at your home. That's just, I mean, like,
so true.
You can, you know, and so, and I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but this was before your first knee surgery. It was, I think, that time after Strong, and you were starting to have that, you know, listening to your whispers and getting, you know, feeling that calling, that pull to do more outside of the walls of Fitness Quest 10 and impact more people. And, you know, here I was chomping at the bit as a trainer and wanting more growth and opportunity. And I think you had a consultation with a doctor that wasn't Dr. Jankowicz, I don't believe, and it was over at Sharp Grossmont. And you grabbed me on an afternoon and said, "Hey, what are you doing right now? Do you have some," and for some reason I had like an hour break, and I don't know why, but we went on a car ride, and I went with you to that consultation, or that first meeting with that doctor. And this is when you first shared with me about wanting, you know, feeling the calling that you've been praying and just feeling like this need that you love Fitness Quest 10 so much, but you don't know how to let go and step away and focus time on other bigger projects. And so that was, I think, our first conversations that led into that assistant GM role. Yeah, I remember that conversation. And you know, a lot has happened since that conversation, obviously. And one thing I've learned throughout this whole process is that, you know, there's so much out of your control. And a lot of times things happen the way they're supposed to, in the timing that they're supposed to. And over the last several years, we've had, you know, multiple talks and things have worked its way. But I remember that first transition into that assistant GM role. And thank God, I mean, Julie Wilcox, just like when she started here as a GM 15 years ago or whatever, I was so lucky to have a mentor or somebody that knew this place in and out. And, I was definitely green in the area of like management and time management and numbers and, so many aspects of the business that you don't know or realize as a trainer or as a director of first impression, all that back end stuff that goes into running a small business. I mean, the 20 or 30 hats that you wear. And so Julie very patiently trained me on our first round of payroll. And
4 hours later.
4 hours later. I think it looking back, it all worked out the way, or in the right progression and timing, from that assistant GM role to the GM, and over the last couple of years having conversations with Todd about what's next.
Right,
what's
right.
The vision for Fitness Quest 10.
It's funny when you say that. No one knows how hard it is to do another person's job until you actually do it. Right?
So
because
true.
you can complain about somebody why they're not doing a job the way you want it done until you actually do that job. Right. And that's, Julie, you had 42 kids basically that were reporting to you that, you do it this way. And you had to corral the sheep and the people that to get it done. And a lot of times, it wouldn't always get done the way you wanted it. And until you actually do someone else's job, I always say is, don't complain about someone else's job until you do it. And that's why I think it's interesting how it's come full circle with Jeff is one of the things I always hear is, why would you grow people in your organization? Because you can grow them right out the door. I've always heard that. We used to always be committed to personal growth inside of Fitness Quest 10. And it's why do you have TFTs, training fellow trainers? Why do you do that? Well, you have a choice, because either you have dead people working for you or you have people who are thriving and looking to grow and flourish. Some will eventually leave you, and some have. But there's also people like you, Jeff, and like other people here at Fitness Quest 10 who are even right now in the midst of major growth cycles. If you grow people, you can grow them out the door, or you can grow them within the organization to help the organization grow. But the bottom line is, even if they're with you for 3 to 5 years, you've got 3 to 5 years of great growth with people and a lot of life, which builds culture and community, which you've done a great job. And then lastly on this is, what's interesting you said in the beginning, because I forgot about that. I get emotional about that car ride because do you ever fight an emotion? You don't want to feel an emotion, but you do? Do you ever feel an emotion you don't? Why am I feeling like everything's great? Fitness Quest 10 is great, but God, why are you calling me to go do greater things or more than what I'm supposed to do? You can't always fight a feeling. A feeling is it's a calling. It's a calling. And when you keep hearing that calling over and over, and I'm not talking days, I'm not talking weeks, I'm talking months, sometimes years. Part of the reason why I went on strong was because I was being called to do something greater and deeper. And then after that, with the expansion and the reorg is go deeper, go deeper. That's a calling. And I think sometimes there's a turmoil inside. If you don't adhere to your calling in life, then you're never truly fully fulfilled. Even now, 3 years later, I'd rather fall flat on my face and fail, knowing that I'm listening to the calling than just keeping everything stagnant, because that's the worst thing to do is stay stagnant, because you will die. And to me, I used to fight that feeling for probably years of man, everything is good. How do I do this? And I was getting called to do that. So it's interesting you recall that, because I remember the internal battle of that, of everything at Fitness Quest 10 was awesome, but God was calling me to do some even greater stuff. And that's when I started hitting the road internationally and nationally, and the speaking and the writing and the books and everything else. And I really, really enjoyed that and enjoy it, and made me want to do more of it. But it always came back to the sanctuary. It always came back to Fitness Quest 10 of how do we protect our house? How do we protect the house of Fitness Quest 10? And hence, even while we're here today, and as you listen in, I hope you can think about if you're getting called to do something, you can fight that feeling or that calling for so long, but ultimately, if you're going to live your best life, then you've got to tap into that calling, and you have to have the courage to go there and figure out a way to get it done. If it's supposed to happen, it will, because for us, it's taken 3+ years. This isn't a reaction of COVID. This is a 3+ year journey of how do we get Fitness Quest 10 to another level? How can we take it so we can expand it someday and replicate FQ10? How can I do it where I can get back to traveling and speaking and writing at the depth that I'm being called to do, and still train? Because ultimately, each and every one of us have a purpose, but you've got to tap into that purpose and make some tough calls, some tough changes, and keep growing people while you're doing that. So great points on that, Jeff. I'll turn it back to you, Julie.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was awesome. I think, you talk about that calling and just the relationship too that the two of you have built, and you guys are really fun to watch. You really are. And the one thing that Todd always says is, the one thing that he taught me in searching for people is they have to have that it factor. And from the moment you walked in the door, you always had that. There was something really special about you, there's a lot of things you don't do great, but I'm just kidding. No, you're awesome. But I think you have that and had it then, and it's getting stronger, and you're becoming such an amazing leader. And it's so great that you've got, Todd here, and you've got a great support team, and the changes that are coming and the changes that you've already made just, in the last few weeks have just been awesome. But I want to just go back a little bit too. And Todd, you talked about COVID, and these decisions were not made because of COVID. But when COVID hit, take us through that time. What were you guys thinking? Did you have to pause? Did you have to stop? I mean, how did you get through, and how did it get you through to make the decisions now that you're making to eventually become, have a partnership together?
Jeff, you take that one.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, looking back to the beginning of COVID, I'm reminded to my first week here at Fitness Quest 10, and why, again, I'm reaffirmed in why I have made Fitness Quest 10 my life and my home. I remember being in a place where I was so lost in my life back 9 years ago, and I came and got a job here at Fitness Quest 10 at the front desk. And it was within a week that I sat in on a mentorship, a 3.5-day mentorship.
Right, I remember that.
And I saw Todd's leadership in front of 75 fit pros from across the country. And I remember being so inspired and just felt like I was in the right place from day one. And, fast forward from that moment 9 years ago, we've been through a lot as a team, as a family. Yep. I mean, Julie, I know right when I took over as GM for you, knowing that I would still have you here as a mentor to help guide me in that role, and Gary suffered that stroke.
Right.
And other challenges and adversities that we've been through, with my own personal struggles, with teammates and their struggles, so we were no stranger to, coming together and supporting each other as a team or as a unit through adversity. Now, COVID obviously
threw us all for a huge...
threw the world
yeah.
through a loop, but just like we've handled any other adversity that's come our way here at Fitness Quest 10 is one of love and support, and Todd, fearless leadership is the only way I can describe it. And so I remember the very first day that we were shut down, and it was not even a question of what are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's just we are already doing stuff. It wasn't even, it was okay, we can't have classes here at the gym. We're going to have classes on Facebook Live, on
the trials
on Zoom.
Virtual,
that first day we had about 10 people here to coordinate a class. This is, this whole year, I think, has really shown and proved the strength and resilience of our team and our community, and being able to stand side by side with Todd and you and Kira and Jesse and Ryan Rogers and these other leaders on our team, and watching other people rise up and support each other, and the fear and stress and anxiety that people felt, it was just amazing. And the support and loyalty that we got from our clients and members from day one. It shows again why Fitness Quest 10. I honestly truly believe it, that there's no place like it. There's no other culture or family.
No place like home,
That's
baby.
Right. I believe it, and that's why I'm so proud to call this place my home, and to be a partner and to lead this place into the next decade. And being able to go through a year like we had, and while the world was either dead in the water,
very complacent.
Yeah. There was so, I mean, and to be honest, like.
And angry. Yeah.
The anger, fear, stress, anxiety, violence, all the stuff that was going on throughout the world was just crazy. You know, that being said, you know, we had our team rallying together to support our each other, number one, you know, support our clients and our members, and, you know, making it possible for people to get, you know, their workouts in, their interactions, you know, training people in backyards, at the park,
Zoom happy hours.
Yeah, Zoom happy hours, Zoom game nights, like whatever it was.
Yeah.
To serve our community during that time. And you know, it's kind of a blur, to be honest, like looking back at some of those times.
It almost seems like 1 year wrapped into several. And, you know, I will commend you guys too, just on the Zooms. Like it was, I took part. I remember Todd and Melanie, you know, doing co-teaching and all that stuff. And I took part, and it actually jump-started my fitness. So it was amazing. Yeah, it really did. Because after Gary, I mean, I really didn't work out for like a year. So awesome job, you guys. Yeah, it jump-started. Yeah. So Todd, share your thoughts too. One thing you always say, and that you helped me through when Gary had a stroke, was you always said, "We got this. We got this." You know, I wake up every day and I say to myself, we got this.
We do got this. Don't know, I'm getting emotional again, but when you sign people's paychecks, you feel a certain sense of responsibility for their families and their lives. We had 42 people on payroll at that time, and March 18th, I remember huddling around and be like, hey, listen, I'm going to do everything I can to fight for the ship, and I'll go down before the ship goes down. And I meant that because in a weird way, I've said this before, but I've never been tested like this. Like, I believe I do my best work when my back's against the wall. When the adversity is really in my face, not do I like it necessarily, but I feel like I want the ball in my hands, or I want to make those decisions. And that was a time where truly, I didn't know what to do, because if you remember right, I said, we'll probably be furloughed for 2 to 3 weeks and then we'll be back to it. Right? We thought we'd be shut down for 2 to 3 weeks. Little did I know that would be 11 months of up and down battles. But I mean that because when you're in charge and the team is under you, you've got to make sure that you have their backs. And many of these young men and women are putting food on the table. And to me, it's like, okay, well, how am I going to help us get through this? How am I going to help our community? Because mindset and fitness was going to be really crucial in this thing called COVID-19, which, by the way, I really had no idea what it was all about, because I wasn't following it very closely, because I was so immersed in training and getting people ready here in the classes and everything else. And it was a major monkey wrench. But I always say this: be different. Be different. And while everyone was closing down, I immediately went to, what are we going to do to serve our community? And that meant we're going to figure out a way to go live with our classes and not skip classes. And what do we do to double down on being there for our community? And even being different is like, we're going to do everything that most people aren't doing. And I look at Jeff, and next thing I know, I see pictures of him floating in one of our clients' pools, training someone at their house. True story, at their house. And then he's telling me that he went to someone, one of our members she's an elder woman, and he went there to help her put together some furniture or something like that. And like I said to our team, and we're having regular Zoom meetings, is whatever it takes, find a way to serve our people. I don't care what it takes, 7 days a week. And I look at it, and it was exhausting over months and months of 7 days a week nonstop. And I know for me, I wasn't sleeping. My mind couldn't turn off. It was a really tough time in so many ways. And I feel like we're almost through this thing. Like, I really feel like we're there. And then when this past fall of 2020 hit, it was more like, okay, I knew that I went from being here at Fitness Within, for the most part, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I was home coaching the mastermind and writing Tuesdays and Thursdays. when COVID hit, I went back to being all in. Save the gym, save people. That was my mission. Save the gym, save people. That's it. Whatever cost, however long it took, that was the only mission. And through that, I also realized that I don't want to sustain this pace forever. I couldn't sustain this pace. And I looked around and started the conversation with Jeff again. Jeff one July said, hey, remember that conversation we had a few years ago? I'm as much into Fitness Quest 10 now as I ever was been, and maybe even more. And that's when it started to really talk about, like, listen, I'm going to carry us through this time, but I'm also going to set us up for the next decade, because we will get through this. We got this. We will get through this time. Some won't. But when we get through this, I've got to make sure that we set ourselves up for success long term. Fitness Quest 10 and my initiatives and what I was being called to do. So trying to make those decisions. But that's like the last 11 months. It's been a roller coaster ride energetically, because many of you can relate. It was like, save your gyms, save people, do whatever it takes at all costs. Like, I was willing physically to do whatever I had to do to save Fitness Quest 10 and our team and everything. And I don't know if I said this on a previous podcast episode when I had surgery in December. Guys, I don't know if I've ever been excited for surgery, because no one likes surgery. But in a weird way, I was excited for surgery because it was a few weeks off. I was like, I was able to sit a lazy boy and literally just rest and recuperate, regenerate, because I don't think I would have taken 2 to 3 weeks off of work if it wasn't for that surgery. And I hate to say that, that's a fault of my own, but that really allowed me some time to think and get clear about these next moves for the next decade, because fortunately here at Fitness Quest 10, I truly believe we are through the hardest part. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And with all of our team, our entire team, and Jeff named a few of them, but our entire team has done one heck of an amazing job in serving people. And like, I'm talking Zooms, lives, showing up at people's homes, being in fields, in the rain, in the sun, in 100-degree weather, like you name it. And all of you can relate, whether you are a trainer or studio owner, or you train at a studio or a gym worldwide. You know that the roller coaster ride that everyone's been on. And Julie said that mantra, we got this. And I love when someone's battling adversity is, we got this. Not I got this. We got this. You see the difference? I got this. The piano's on your back. I got this. It's like, that burden's heavy. But when it's we got this, I know Jeff's on my team. Julie's on my team. Zach's on my team. And all the way down, the entire team of like, we got this. It's going to require a Herculean effort. And to me, that's how I look back. And COVID was an opportunity at the end of the day, in some ways to slow down, in other ways to reflect upon life with where you're at and where I'm at, and to make the moves. And it came down to do you have the courage to make the moves that you know need to be made now? Or are you going to wait? Is there a perfect time? No, there's not a perfect time. There's always a right time. There's never a perfect time. So those moves that started happening in December, January, February right now were because of the courage to say, you know what? Why wait? What? Wait for what? Wait for the right time? Is there ever going to be a right time? No, you got to create that time. And to me, that's what COVID has allowed us to do. And as I reflect here, on this time, I'm extremely blessed to be around some amazing people. And that goes all the way back to the three people in this room, is who you bring onto your team, who you grow, who you keep on your team, who you keep in your life. Even if you're a solopreneur or you work for a company, it's like, who are you surrounding yourself with? And Jeff, I tell you this all the time, I couldn't have got through COVID without you and seeing, shoot, if Jeff's training like that, working like that, I can do that. or Julie's behind the scenes guys on these podcast episodes, last minute, I'm like, Julie, I got an idea for a spit and fire, or hey, I'm going to interview this person. I need it flipped by within 24 hours. She on a Sunday is doing that, so it gets out Monday. Sometimes that's how quick it is. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that you never even know of that are really mission driven. Like, we got this, save lives, change lives, whatever your mission is. So it's been an interesting ride, and one that I feel really, really excited for the future. And that to me is what excites me.
Yeah, that's so cool. As you were talking about it, it's just like, I just hope people can really feel the energy and the passion that's in this room, because to have the support and to have the team that we have and all the people that really care and do want to change lives and do want to make a difference. Like Todd said, I mean, any one of us can pick up a phone or pick up a text and just say, hey, I need this or I need that. And we've got each other's backs. And I think that's really, that starts with you both. And dang, this team is better than it ever was. I truly believe that. Todd, what changed for you? Where you said something has to change?
Well, again, I think I already said some of it, but it's a combination of, I think we're under construction. Like we all are. And by the way, I don't care if you're 60 years old listening, you're under construction. Like it's like you never exactly know what you want to do. Like, and you ask yourself, if you love what you do, is there another level? Is there another step, right? I mean, I go back to 2006 talking to LaDainian Tomlinson after he won the NFL MVP of like, what's next? Or Drew after he won the Super Bowl, like, what's next? You know, how do you continually get motivated and inspired? For me, it's always been my faith of God, how can I serve deeper? And when you look at your own purpose in life, with where you're at, for me, at the end of the day, whenever that is, for me, I know it'll be 2082, 10/10, October 10th, 2082, I'll be 110, is the fact that, well done, good and faithful servant. Well done and good and faithful servant. What does that mean? Good and faithful servant. Was I faithful to the when I'm getting my quiet time that, you know, either Pastor Miles McPherson talks about or Pastor Jeremiah talks about, is like, you know, tapping in those whispers, is if he's calling me to do something greater, but the world doesn't understand, well, why would you do that when you know you've reached a certain peak in your career as a trainer, as a coach? Yeah, but deep down, to me, there's another chapter. There's something left that you don't even know. I don't even know sometimes, other than I'm adhering to a calling to go even deeper. Still going to train, still going to change lives. But what's that calling? And again, I don't care if you're 25, you're 50, or you're 75. It's that evolution that we're all under construction and we're always getting better and better. So for me, when you ask, like, what was that change? I think I've always sought to be the best version of myself. And I think it got really deep in strong. When I did strong, it got deep, spiritually deep. Like, there's something deeper I need to be playing for than just quote San Diego, because of the feedback I was getting when I was speaking and doing keynotes and on the road 40 times a year, which I hope to get back to more of that live aspect. But that was the start of it, and that my faith deepened. And the deeper my faith goes now, the more time I spend on it, the deeper my calling is. And sometimes that requires moves that sometimes people wouldn't understand. Why would I make that move? And that's where I'm like, it doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is, am I being obedient to the calling that I'm being asked to be? And when I look around Fitness Quest 10, and I look at the eyes, you know, the eyes are the windows to the soul. I see some real lit up eyes right now, some people who are on fire. And I think that's because of the changes, again, that have been made. And people are excited about some of the things that we're working on that Jeff's already doing, you know, 6 weeks into the year. And if you were to come see Fitness Quest 10 right now, it actually looks different than what it was. So new life, change, evolution.
Yeah.
But so many people are afraid of change. Please don't be on the sideline using COVID as an excuse, or you don't have the money, or you don't have the smarts or the looks, or you're too old or you're too young. These are excuses. Like, I don't care how old you are or where you're at. Like, if you have a driving desire and purpose to do something in your life, whether it be a trip, a vacation, a job, a career, starting a new job, staying with your company, but having a bigger role, whatever it is, you got to make sure you scratch that tickle.
Yeah, I love that. That kind of takes me into January and the new partnership of you guys and kind of where you're going. So elaborate a little bit more on that. And Jeff, I'm going to just kind of throw it your way, and I want to know the beginnings, and I want to know how you feel about this new partnership.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so, number one, just excited and thrilled about a partnership, and it's just the beginning on, taking Fitness Quest 10 and our mission into this next decade and beyond and outside of these walls. And, I am the fact that I have a leader like Todd and teammates like the team that we have and the community that we have, it's something that, like, Todd has referred to, something that scares you, obviously, like taking over Fitness Quest 10, taking the helm of a place
especially
that's
following this
following
one.
I've had to I talk about it whenever I have to follow this guy speaking.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
but and I made reference to this at our team meeting that we had over the holidays when we initially announced this. It's like, Todd is an incredible coach and mentor, not only to me, not only to our Fitness Quest 10 team, not only to the Todd Durkin Mastermind and those coaches that seek his guidance and leadership, but to the fitness community at large. And,
So
when you take over or step into somebody's role that was great, or that is great, or, taking over Fitness Quest 10, one of the top 10 gyms in America, it's like, okay, like, it's time for me to level up. Like, Todd's created opportunities for growth for people like myself and other people that have come before me and are coming after me, and now having that responsibility on my plate, like, okay, like, now a lot of these guys and gals that have been my peers and my coworkers, now it's my responsibility to take us farther.
Yeah.
What can I do to inspire them to grow, just like Todd inspired me when I saw his first mentorship here 9 years ago, and the way he spoke to those trainers and gym owners when we held that at Fitness Quest 10, one of my first week of work at Fitness Quest 10. So I think stepping in, doing something that scares you, that it's easy to get scared or not put yourself in positions like that where you might get a little bit uncomfortable. And I'm grateful that I've had, Todd, someone who has never let me play at
Average.
It's
so true.
It's fine. If you're comfortable being it, but if you're on a growth path, or if you want more and you have big goals or big dreams, you're going to surround yourself with people that have even bigger goals or bigger dreams. Because just like Todd referred to about, like, during COVID, like, I might have been motivating him by some of the stuff I was doing and back and forth. It works the same with, me and Todd, or me and my brother, or Jesse, or whoever else might be on our team, where I'm, have that responsibility or that, it's like that iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
That's what we talk about. And, so I've strategically like we talk about strategic partnerships, like I've strategically partnered myself along Todd, because I know that, he's on a mission to do great things and to change people's life. And I believe in his mission, where, he wants to save lives. And, I'm honored to have the opportunity to lead our team, to be a leader in our community. I'm constantly reaffirmed on my purpose and where I'm at in life. And, I get to share these kind of things with Todd. And, I shared a message with Todd just this past week that I received literally within that final week of our discussions on this whole partnership. And it was a Facebook message that I received from a woman whose house I had burglarized in the middle of my addiction. And little did I know that she was a recent widow, that, some of these other circumstances that was behind the scenes on that. But this woman, 10 years later, messaged me on Facebook because she had found me and saw, what I was doing with my life today.
Wow.
And I remember this was like, the week of Christmas or New Year's, and after 3 years of discussions with Todd about, the future of Fitness Quest 10 and our mission and our purpose and all this, it was coming down to the 11th hour, and we were, on the verge of coming to an agreement. And I get this message from this woman from 10 years ago and says like, hey, I know you don't know who I am, but this is who I am. And I found you on Facebook. I just came across a file in my file cabinet that's titled robbery. And I looked you up on Facebook, and I just want to tell you, how proud I am of the life you're living today, and I forgive you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
I have tears in my eyes. That is friggin' powerful. Yeah.
So, it's things like that. It's, the people that lean on Fitness Quest 10 as being their rock, their lighthouse. Just in this past year, the world was suffering a pandemic. Well, during that pandemic, we lost 3 people within our community, 2 because of drugs and alcohol, 1 from a massive heart attack. And, knowing that, like, we are their source of strength and support. That's my responsibility, to be the rock for those people that, are going through real stuff. We're battling a pandemic and whatnot. Well, what about Judy, who just lost her husband and is now a widow living in her house by herself? And we are her extended family. That's, what about our other clients who lost kids to drug and alcohol addiction? And now, it's, we are
we're the lighthouse.
We're the lighthouse, yeah. And so using those things as sources of motivation for, why we're doing what we're doing, and getting reaffirmed on partnership with this guy right here.
Yeah, this guy right here.
He went from punk to partner. He went from being a punk to a partner. 9 years, right? He had 9 years. Yeah. And if you go back, please go back after this and listen to episode, I believe it is 30, episode 30, and you could hear Jeff's whole story. And it's amazing, guys. I mean, you talk about a guy who's overcome a lot of adversity. Adversity has become his advantage. And understanding that now, if you ever watch Jeff work, this community, everyone knows Jeff, and Jeff knows everybody.
He's the mayor.
He should be the mayor of Scripps Ranch. We'll say to one of our other members, Bob Ilko, who's the mayor right now. But Bob Ilko has got his money with Jeff Bristol, because Jeff, as far as the FQ10 family and community, certainly is really special. So I just commend you for that, because that's something that every day you are here serving, and the team has rallied massively around you. And I love seeing it as a mentor. Someone asked me, like, how do I feel in bringing a partner? Because I used to say, you don't want a partner, you want to do it all yourself. Well, I also realize it takes a village. It takes a lot of collaboration these days. And the bigger your vision goes, the team is even more important, right? We've always said the bigger your dream, the more important your team. Well, to me, it's not necessarily a quote about ownership or how much someone owns, or it's like, who's on your team, who's your collaboration, and where can you allocate your energy, your time, and your focus so that you can align yourself with the purpose that you're designed to do. And when I look at Jeff, the alignment right now of his purpose is spot on, and I think Fitness Quest 10 is so well positioned. In a weird way to say this, I don't know if you ever thought of this. I believe this is the truth, is that Fitness Quest 10, with the situation that Jeff and I have now, is better positioned for long-term success than if I was by myself saying, okay, troops, I'm going to be with you part-time as I try to, inspire the world and keep doing your thing, versus, the old adage of sometimes you got to give up to go up, and giving up is getting Jeff to come into a bigger role, a bigger responsibility, where I can still mentor, I can still be the CEE, the chief energy, or the CEO, the chief energy officer, on that and mentor him, mentor the team, and keep training. But I'm really excited for Jeff and the Fitness Quest 10 team and the community, because I'm still involved, but Jeff really, from a day-to-day basis, is taking the horns already 6 weeks into this and running with it.
Yeah, it's so awesome. So in running with it, Jeff, what's next for Fitness Quest 10? What's your vision?
Absolutely.
I mean, you've done a lot already around here, you guys.
Yeah,
the paint.
If you know me, I always have
there's
multiple projects going on. Yeah, and that's something that my wife and I have, done over the last couple of years. Is remodeled several condos and a house, and my dad's a contractor, and it's pretty neat that now. Kind of coming full circle. I got my dad here running the renovations of the roots.
Oh yeah, it looks like there's a bomb that went off in the roots.
Yeah, it does now, but it's going to be world class when
beautiful.
it's done here in a couple weeks. And so yeah, like Todd said, we are doubling down right now. And while the world is either stuck, stalled, or in survival mode, how can we lead by example and show our team and our community that we are not only going to make it through it, but we are going to come out of it stronger and better than before. And we're setting the tracks now for a big, big future for all of us. And, know that there is going to be, growth and opportunities. And one of the things that I'm excited about doing is looking into how our team is going to grow this year in the next couple months. Who I'm looking right now, who's that next great person that's going to, because it's not our gym or, that makes Fitness Quest 10 who it is. It starts with the team. That's our biggest asset that we have, and Todd has done an amazing job of attracting incredible people. I look back at all of my past coworkers that have come and gone to do great things, and all the ones that are still here and been here. I talk about this in consultations. It's so easy for me to talk to somebody about how amazing we are.
It's true.
I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just
look how many people have been here for over 10 years.
It's amazing. Yeah, I'm talking from the bottom of my heart when I'm sitting with somebody and telling them about our community and our culture, and how proud I am. I'm like, man, I've been here for 9 years, and I'm literally right in the middle on our team of longevity or tenure.
Yeah.
And I have coworkers that have been here for 10, 12, 14, 15, 18, 20 years.
Right.
So that's something that's number one, so amazing in our industry or any industry.
It's unheard of, yeah.
And the fact that these people have been so loyal to us and Fitness Quest 10, and how can I, inspire and lead those people, and how can I find that next trainer, massage therapist, Pilates instructor that's going to continue to feed and grow our community. So that's, I think, I've been knee deep in renovation projects and everything, and that's great because it has, given people a little bit of excitement coming out of the pandemic and stuff. But now it's going to be okay, who's going to be that next person, and what are our goals as a team, and not just about making it through it. What great things are we going to do, and it's kind of neat just seeing the shift of different people, and some of the, athletes that Todd has trained in the past. And we've had a, incredible run here with a lot of athletes. And I look right behind me to some of these, articles from the past, and Todd's, relationship with guys like Drew and other people he's trained like LT. And now it's okay, we see some of these young studs coming up, and Jesse's bringing a whole hockey culture into Fitness Quest 10, and it's just exciting to think about the opportunities for growth within these walls, and then potentially how can Fitness Quest 10 impact more people. Well, maybe that is another Fitness Quest 10 location. That's something that Todd has never pursued down that path, but it's something that I've entertained and thought of a great way that we can impact more people. And so, I think it starting this year in the first couple months of 2021 is to have my feelers out there and be on the search for the next great people to join the team.
You've always got a project. Why not?
Yeah, I know.
Why not?
Yeah.
Todd, thoughts on that?
Thoughts on that? Exciting. What I would say is it's always about the people. In the beginning, when I was starting out, the hiring process was always about finding the people with the greatest resumes, master's degrees, PhDs. Yep. And let me tell you what, I made some mistakes, serious mistakes in the beginning of hiring some duds because I was hiring off a piece of paper because they were so well qualified. And, through the process and 20 plus years experience of hiring people, I realized it's about the people. It's about the person, and can they be trained in the culture and the system that we do? Do they fit in a group exercise class? Do they have the energy that is Fitness Quest 10? They don't always have to be an extrovert. We do have introverts on the team, but finding the right person with the core values that align with our core values, and we look at our credo card that we created from my experience at the Ritz-Carlton retreat experience that we had, and we have our own credo card that was modeled after the Ritz-Carlton credo card. We look at the core values of Fitness Quest 10, our service standards, what we stand for, our non-negotiables, our vision, our mission, and our focus. Do people have that? Or I believe that everyone now needs a mission. Everyone needs a mission. And if you don't have a mission, you got to find a mission, or you got to align with someone that has a mission. There's nothing worse these days than waking up without a mission. A mission, whatever that may be, save lives, change lives, or what's going to get you out of bed, because right now the world is beating us down. And if you happen to have habits like you watch the news or you read the newspaper, then your energy and your mindset is probably further in the dumps on that. You've got to find something to fight for. I think everyone's got to find something to fight for. And whether you have a company that has a mission or you have a mission personally that you're fighting for, that gives us the spirit of life that we all need. So as Jeff was talking about, I believe one of the reasons why Fitness Quest 10 has excelled even in dark times is because we do have a strong mission, and that mission attracts people. And many times it attracts the right people. There are times when it's not the right person, or it doesn't fit. And again, I've made my shares of mistakes along the way, but the bottom line is this: when you can gather a team and continually fight for a mission, regardless of what that is, and you have a purpose to work and a purpose to live, well then, what is the old saying? The purpose of life is to have a life of purpose. Right? The purpose of life is to have a life of purpose. So what's your purpose? What's your life's purpose? And if you don't know that, seek it. If you don't know your purpose in life, then seek it. Or put yourself around people that do have a strong purpose, and your purpose will be either aligned with them, or it'll be manifested through them, from them. So find people in your life, and you don't have to necessarily go to San Diego to find that. You can find it in your own community. You can find it in a coaching program. You can find it by having mentors through podcasts like this, through programs that one may invest in. But find people who you can learn from and be attracted because of the mission that they're fighting for, because we all need a mission to fight for.
Gosh, so well said and so true. Let's switch gears just for a second. And what's next for TDE?
That's probably a whole nother episode. We're going to make that episode 3.
It actually is.
Episode 3 of Exceptional Expansion. But I would say this, and Jeff just mentioned it. We are actually right now upstairs, what is considered the Roots, creating the TDE, Todd Durkin Enterprises Global Headquarters. In that headquarters, there's going to be a media room, which will be podcasting. So what you're seeing now is going to even get better. And then also all the courses with the expansion of Todd Durkin University, which our first product was created in the pandemic. The Get Yoked program for kids was made in a matter of weeks and did really well. That was the first product in what was considered Todd Durkin University. And I got a vision over the last 10 months of how am I going to impact the universe, and it's going to be through Todd Durkin University. And that'll include Fitness Quest 10 teammates. That'll include mastermind teammates first, and then I'll go to the industry at large for those who want to have products and programs, not only in fitness, nutrition, recovery, and all that, but also in faith. and how do you double down in your faith? How do you in your high performance and many different aspects of living, including personal growth and development. So TDU is going to be one of the big projects. One of my big 5 for 2021 is to really expand not only the media and the podcasting and the lives, but also Todd Durkin University, as well as speaking. Guys, if you didn't know, speaking and live events, we will get back. We will get back in 2021. We will be having live events here in Q3 and 4 of 2021. Jeff alluded to this. If you are in the fitness industry or you go to a gym, great news. Folks, the fitness industry is going to be booming here when we get through all this because people are so down. People, depression, anxiety, stress, fatigue, PTSD, all of these things people are faced with. Trainers and coaches, life transformers, are going to have the ability to impact people more than ever before. The power of touch through massage, bodywork, any healing art. We're going to have the ability to positively impact people over the next several years, not even the next several months, next several years. The kids, God bless these kids, many of them who are homeschooled or in some form of a hybrid model right now. If you're in school full-time, congratulations. Thank you for being the model of how it could and should be done. But these kids need love. These kids need motivation. These kids need a purpose. They need sports. They need activities. They need dance and music, and they need to get back to the activities. And one of the missions that I'm behind right now is getting these kids back to sports, getting these kids back into school, and I mean, this gets into some of the initiatives that I'm behind, even with our Impact Foundation, in being sure that our kids for tomorrow have opportunities, that they're not impeded because of COVID-19, but COVID-19 allowed these kids a different perspective in their life. So when we get through this time, which we will, reminder, we will get through this time, is that these kids look back and say, wow, in 5 years, I'm so blessed and grateful that my life is like this. Because do you remember when back in 2020 when the world shut down, right? We're going to look back in here in 20, 25 years from now and say, do you remember when? Let's not just be a statistic. Let's remember the finest lessons we've learned in the past year almost here, and what we can do to carry this forward as well.
Dang. You just fired me up.
I don't know why I'm getting so emotional in this,
awesome.
episode. I don't know if I've ever gotten as emotional in an episode. I've gotten emotional episodes, but I just think because I know I'm around you guys who it takes a great team of people to be mission driven. And by the way, if you're not around people who lift you up, I think that could ultimately be a downfall. I think, we talk about rising tides raises all ships up. We are in a rising tide here, and I encourage you to live with the mindset of a rising tide. Be a rising tide. Don't just react to what everyone else is doing. Be different, as I said. Be different on that. And whatever is either scaring you or speaking to you, to go deep on that. And be led by vision, man. Vision and mission are really important right now, more than ever before. And just keep searching, keep seeking, go deeper in faith, and man, fired up today.
This has been fun, you guys. This is so awesome. Anyway, I just want to kind of wrap it up here. And Jeff, any final words for the audience?
Yeah. I would like to say, first of all, thank you, Todd and Julie, for a great time today hanging out with two people that I have a ton of respect and love for. To anybody listening today, connect with us. Reach out to me on social media at Bristol Fit, Todd Durkin at Todd Durkin. Look into the Todd Durkin Mastermind. That's something that inspired me as a FQ10 employee from my first week of working here. I got to watch one of Todd's live events here and see 75 gym owners and fitness professionals from all over the world come here. And man, I remember leaving that day being so inspired. And over the years, I've met a ton of incredible people all over the world that have traveled or been part of mastermind or a mentorship, or reached out to us via email or social media, or came to visit Fitness Quest 10 when they're in San Diego. Whatever it is, I think that we are, that's what keeps us going here at Fitness Quest 10. And I watch Todd when he's on stage, and I see how that lights his fire, getting the opportunity to impact people, whether you're a mom or a dad or a trainer or whoever, an athlete. So yeah, I would love to hear from you. If you're listening, if you're in San Diego, come to Fitness Quest 10 for a class, Monday night class. I teach Monday nights. Todd teaches Wednesday nights, and we have
the battle of the classes. I love it.
I'm always like, how many people does Todd have class tonight? All right, I'm gonna get 22 next week.
TD, final words. And wrap up, baby.
What an episode! What an episode! I guess I'm just full of gratitude. Honestly, I'm grateful right now that you're listening. That I'm listening to this podcast, because if it wasn't for this podcast, you wouldn't have heard of Jeff before, possibly if you're out of town, or Julie or myself. There are so many fire-breathing dragons like you who I do not know, and I want to know. I want to know where you're listening in from. Talk about gratitude. Is I love when I get a message or a DM or something that an episode touched you or impacted your relationships, your life, your business, your career, whatever it may be. So please reach out. And then I'm going to end with this: is dream the impossible. Dream the impossible. Right now we have dreams sometimes that I don't even think sometimes are big enough. Because the reason why I say that is when you dream the impossible, you're always in dream mode. You're always trying to figure out, how can I connect to my dream deeper? I'm not sure, if Jeff's dream was to one day eventually, partner at Fitness Quest 10. I know this with my dreams, some of the dreams I have for my future. And again, I'm going to share this in the Exceptional Expansion Part 3 when I get my new digs done here in a few weeks. At Fitness Quest 10, is I believe that the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. But I believe it's a dream that seems impossible, that keeps all of our juices flowing. So I want you to think about what's impossible. What's that dream that I would love to make happen, but I have no idea how it can happen? I sometimes call that the BHAGs, right? Your big, hairy, audacious goals. Your dreams that are going to stir your spirit and make your soul soar. What is that going to be for you? What's that dream going to be that just seems like it's not going to happen? I want you to go there. I want you to live in that space. And it might take you 6 months. It might take you a year. It might take you several years to potentiate. But I know 3-4 years ago when I had that dream to go onto a TV show that it eventually happened and it seemed impossible. And then the dream to eventually scale and grow my personal brand more and to speak more and write more. And these things seemed impossible. And you don't even know the answers. But when your why is deep enough, people will come into your life just at the right time that can help you align your dreams and your purpose. So I say this: dream the impossible today. And I hope that something Jeff said earlier or Julie shared earlier, that you realize over a 15-year career at Fitness Quest 10, a 9-year career at Fitness Quest 10, 21 plus years that I've been serving our industry and now coaching in multiple industries, is that you can think about today is, what is your dream? How do I better my family, my kids, and how do I make this world better? And most importantly, how do I be that lighthouse that if you're living in Europe right now, you're in Australia, you're in Asia, you're in North America, wherever you live, anywhere around the world, I want you to think about your dream. And I want you to know, whatever that dream is, there's a dream for a reason. There's a reason. There's a gift inside of you that somehow, some way, if that dream is meant to be, it's going to manifest. Never stop believing. Reach out to your mentors, reach out to your friends, reach out to your colleagues, reach out to your fire-breathing dragon friends right here, and know this: when you keep dreaming big, ultimately, you're going to fulfill your legacy. And to me, that's what impact is all about. So what I say is this: to Jeff Bristol, to Julie Wilcox, to Zach Sparazzo, for all of you Mind Right Maniacs listening in today from anywhere around the globe, I say thank you. My heart is full. My head is on fire. And when I say get your mind right, I want you to train hard. I want you to eat right. I want you to live inspired. And most importantly today, go create impact.